in a row run, right? They lost Elgin Baylor. Jerry West averaged over 40 points per game during their playoff run. Give me another name of a person that's averaged 40 points per game during the playoff run. Now, again, some people may argue with me and be like, yo, Kai, they were playing against plumbers. They were playing against electricians. They were playing against people that were part time. At the end of the day, basketball is basketball. And if you let somebody score 40 on you, that's on you. That's not on how great Jerry West is, bro. Obviously, he is the logo. But I'm saying if you let somebody come in and give you 40, just saying. I'm just saying. If you let somebody come and give you 40, if you let Jerry West come and give you 40, that's on you. All right. Boston Celtics finished with a league best 62 wins. Wilt Chamberlain joined the Philadelphia 76ers mid-season. Willis Reed was a rookie. Bill Russell, the Boston Celtics, won his 5th and final MVP award. Yeah, rest in paradise to Jerry West, for sure. Rest in paradise to Jerry West. And all of our legends. And rest in paradise to Wilt Chamberlain. All of our legends. Rest in paradise to all of them, man. They are my ancestors. I would not be here without them. Right. Bill Russell, the Boston Celtics, won his 5th and final MVP award. How many other people have 5 MVP? Huh? Oh my gosh, bro. Chamberlain led the league in scoring, averaging 33.5 points. He also became the NBA's all-time leading scorer, surpassing Bob Pettit. Wilt Chamberlain also won MVP award. Rick Barry, okay. Red Auerbach. Bill Russell was named head coach of the Celtics, becoming the first African-American coach in an American sports league. Guys, this was 60 years ago. My dad's not even 60 yet. Look, I wish I could show you guys, for real. TikTok, thank you for all the love, man. Thank you for all the love, bro. Appreciate you. Dog, 60 years ago, y'all got to understand, think about how special the game has always been, right? And what made sports political back then is like these athletes back then, Wilt Chamberlain was making a large sum of money for that time, but also he had responsibilities. Bill Russell had responsibilities, and we could go into detail about what they did, right? And other things like that. But what I want to get across to you guys is how did we miss over some of this information that does not get tossed into who is the greatest of all time, right? Or who are the greatest of all time, right? There may be rankings, don't get me wrong, but I rank guys also off of the character, right? The character is everything too. How did they carry themselves, right? So now let me go to 1975 NBA news, all right? Dive deeper again, 1975. Let me see. Led by the underdog Golden State Warriors, led by Rick Barry, swept the heavily favored Washington Bullets 4-0 to win the NBA championship. Rick Barry was named the Finals MVP. The NBA playoffs expanded from 4 teams per conference to 5, adding an extra round. Capital Bullets became the Washington Bullets. Okay. Okay. Last season for Kareem, Jamal Wilkes of the Golden State Warriors. Let me see. A major trade saw Kareem Abdul-Jabbar go from the Bucks to the Lakers in exchange for Junior Bridgman, Dave Myers, Elmore Smith, and Brian Winters. Changes to league rules included eliminating hand checking in certain areas to promote offense and a refined definition of the no charge zone under the basket. Guys, that's why I'm looking at this the way I am, right? Because it's important for you guys to realize that there have been people that have come before all of us, and I want the older generation to make sure that they have the love that they deserve, because the league is even more political because of how much we're making. Somebody took my quote, probably misinterpreted the other day when I said, the contract situation, when it is in the public eye, it does feel a little uncomfortable, right? And somebody may have had their comments on it, somebody might have had their thing, but until you're in this position, and you won't really know, but I'm gonna give you insight so I can give you insight into my life. Right? When somebody finds out what you're making, how much you're making, there's like a there's a I don't want to say the awkwardness, but it's like all the texts that I received, people were happy for me, but it was also almost like, damn, like this is how much he's making. And it's not necessarily me being angry or mad that it's out there. It's just me trying to better understand why it's out there because at the end of the day, yes, it does help promote the league, but like us as players, that doesn't help. It doesn't help. I just feel like it puts a target, on your back. If it puts a target on you for no reason. Now, I may be wrong in terms of my approach to this, right? Because at times, appreciate the galaxy on TikTok. Thank you guys. I'm trying to stay interactive with y'all. Give me a second. We're gonna only get better at this, okay? But I feel like it's a target on our backs. And the reason why I say that is the initial the initial response from people is, from my community and my tribe, yes, people are happy and I'm happy too, but it does not reflect the overall growth of me as a human being and what I'm doing with that, right? Because now you just see how much I make, how much I've made over my career, and then people just start guessing, like, okay, well, this is how much he has, this is how much he has, this is how much he has. It should be awkward. It should be awkward. Ask one of the other streamers if if they're comfortable with showing y'all everything they make per day or everything they make per week or everything they make per month. Ask another CEO of a company, right? They may know how much the salary is, but they're not going to know every detail. And then also, I saw somebody say like the contracts get sent out by the agents. That's cool too. I have no problem with the agent sending it out. No problem. But when it gets sent out to the other people that literally just want to nitpick and see what you did and how you did it, that's when it makes it awkward. It's not for the fans, right? Again, the fans, the supporters, shout out to all you guys. I'm never angry at you guys knowing how much I've earned or what I'm valued at in the NBA contractual side. But when it comes to the real money side of business and how it works, nobody's really trying to say how much they make or how much they get. Because it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of my safety and my privacy, right? I appreciate you guys listening in. It doesn't do anything for my safety. Right. Again, I am a very kind soul. I have a kind heart. But if somebody sees that I have $100 million coming in, you don't think that, somebody like, well, I see you helping out over here. So can you help out over here too? Kai, I see you giving to this. Can you help out over here? Kai, I see you doing this. Can you help out over here? And it's just like that public information turns to be something different for me. Not everybody deals with it the same way I do. I've given out a lot of my personal capital to 501(c)(3)s, to a lot of philanthropic arms, to a lot of strangers on the street, to a lot of people whether I'm at restaurants or whether I'm out and about. Like I'm always doing things to make sure that there is a reward in the afterlife because the money here on this earth will never amount to anything that's in that realm. Right? The amount of money that we make on earth, it definitely controls a lot of us. It definitely controls our decision making. It controls certain people's voices. It controls people's certain decisions because we have responsibilities. I understand that as a man. I understand that as a father, as a son, as a generational leader, right? As a black sheep of my family in wolf clothing. I understand that. I understand the financial side of it, but the only time I get emotional is when I feel like people are trying to take advantage of me. I only that's the only time I feel like, okay, yeah, I've had enough and my boundaries are being crossed when people or someone tries to take advantage of me. Yes, I am a nice person. Yes, I enjoy giving out a lot of my own personally earned wealth to help others and help them get in another position, but I don't like being taken advantage of. Because when I get taken advantage of, just like they say, the calmest person in the room has that dangerous, they have that danger to them too. This is yeah, like it gets dangerous because when I'm acting too nice, then it gets disrespectful. And that's what I've learned most about these last few years of my life is yes, I want to be incredibly nice. Yes, I want to be incredibly helpful. Yes, I